morning, Thug Hippie family. I know I never go live over here, which is why I'm over here going live this morning. I have been over at Ia the Artist doing the Winter Wellness Workshop. Don't judge me, judge your mama. Yes, I put sugar in my tea. Now, I have found when you got good tea, like that David's loose tea, when you got good tea, you don't need so much sweetener. You can really taste the flavors, like salt. Sugar in my tea is to bring out the flavors. Alright. Are we in there? Ooh, I'm almost on the power button. Mess around, turn the phone off while I'm trying to do this. Okay, I'm in my corner, y'all. So yes, we have been doing the Winter Wellness Workshop, and I definitely need some wellness on today because I can't even understand what 5 degrees is. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what that is, and I gotta leave out to go start the bus. That is just breaking my heart because that is the only reason I gotta leave out my comfy, cozy hobbit hole is to go start the bus. It's not like a car, y'all. I can't just let it sit through cold weather like this. Diesel will turn into gel in my engine, and that would just be a whole mess. So let me pull up my notes here for our winter. I promise this is my last winter. I'm gonna get my snowbird on. I will be here April through October and gone November through April. I'm over this cold. Even if it has been getting mild winters, I'm over all the colds. I've been trying to get out the winter for 5 years. Things keep holding me here. Okay, so we are on the 5th week of the Winter Wellness Workshops. This is the 2nd day, and we are talking about social. So to run it back yesterday, if you did not see the clip, I suggest you go back and watch what we talked about. Watch what I talked about yesterday. I think that's why people really believe that all the things I do got a lot of people behind it, because I use the royal we, y'all. It is just me. It is Ia, me, myself, and I, and all the voices in my head. It's just me. So when you say, when you hear me say we, it's the royal we, y'all. It really did all of whatever's being done. It's right here. I'm squad solo, team Ia. But please feel free to join me. I really would like it. But I ain't waiting either. I got a purpose and I got a mission, and I'm gonna do it with or without you. And my mission is actually you. So that's why we're here today. And I'm being social to you. And we were talking about how children are resilient, and I believe that resiliency is used to get through the assholeness of childhood. Because you're supposed to be a little asshole in childhood. You don't know anything else but yourself. You don't know how to be kind. You don't know how to be considerate. These are things that we're learning. That's why it's called social development. Because you come in this world completely selfish, and that's okay. So it's important to have those types of lessons growing up, and we know that some of us have not, which is why we have social emotional development, arts, and wellness programs all over the place. But we are missing the fact that if we are now focused on children and recognize the need for social emotional development, there are a bunch of adults that did not get that because nobody was focusing on it then. So there's still a bunch of adults out here that are socially, emotionally undeveloped. It don't happen just because you become an adult. I used to tell my son that and use it as an example for things like when you gonna learn to cook, or you think you just grow up and you know how to clean the house. Like, no, you need to learn how to clean right now. You don't just become an adult and things just pop into you. You know what I'm saying? They're not like fruits. You don't have fruits of adulthood. You become an adult and then the fruit of cleanliness pops up out of you and you know how to clean, or the fruit of cooking pops up out of you. You know how to cook. No, that's not how it works. So it's important to be developed. And so if we believe that there are children that have missed these steps in life, then we should probably do more to have a space for adults to learn these things as well, because we've heard of old fools, and I know a few of them, and not even necessarily a fool, just, bad characteristics and personalities, because again, the social emotional development for them wasn't there, and then they became adults and people just chalked it up to their character, or they grown so they can do that or whatever. Yeah, give me a tea sponsor, y'all. Who make tea out there in Chicago or anywhere? You know what? I think I got a couple friends that make tea, actually. So that social emotional development is important, not for children, but it's very crucial for adults right now. This is why do you think we always talk about how adults have a hard time making friends? That's because there's a lack of social emotional development that keeps adults from being able to do that. Not finna get into all of that right now. I don't even know what I'm gonna get into, because I forgot. I didn't like what I wrote about social, and I liked what I had wrote yesterday morning instead. Did I finish everything on that list? Oh yeah, right. Okay, so yes, the resiliency of childhood, to recap yesterday, should be used to get through the assholeness of childhood. We shouldn't be leaning on the resiliency of children to help them navigate adult situations, divorce, fighting, money problems, whatever. You just a selfish person and didn't learn how to give, so you probably shouldn't have been a parent in the first place. There's people out there like that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom used to say, speak the truth, shame the devil. You know what I'm saying? You can't fix stuff until you really, really, really accept the truth. So there's people out there that just shouldn't have plain been parents. And so that social resiliency is to help those children get through that. It shouldn't be used to help us get over constantly passing traumas on to each other because of a lack of a good social emotional development. I'm serious. Watch yesterday's, y'all. My mom, she set me up good as a child, and I'll talk about tomorrow how come that social development didn't work as an adult. No fault to her. No fault to her. I still love me just like this, and I probably wouldn't change. But we come in. It's important to really at one point step away from yourself, because from the moment we get here, we are directed towards what we're to be, who we're to be, what we think we are, what your personality may say to your parents. You're told what to be. Oh, she's so outgoing, and they force you to be on stage when really you wanted to be a neuroscientist, or something. So we're told what to do. If you're a younger sibling, you got all the other siblings ahead of you, maybe on purpose, or just because they're your older siblings and you're supposed to admire and want to role model after your older siblings. And so you have maybe them setting a path for you and telling you what to do before you can organically figure yourself out. That might be the bonus to being an only kid. But then you still have parents, and depending on those parents, I'm a dancer. Of course, I tried to make my boys dance. I didn't push. Not too hard. I mean, they both had the talent. They both could dance, so it's not like I was trying to make them do something they couldn't do. But, it didn't stick. That's fine. They play instruments. I'll take that. I play drums. We sit around and we play drums together when they're back home. And that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? That's great. But, again, I was trying to direct their path somewhere that wasn't naturally for them. And so, some parents, again, I use one of my kids as an example. He was not encouraged to draw. That wasn't masculine enough for his dad. And, it's just like silly things like that. So you are told who you are from the moment that you get here. So at one point in time, and that's probably when you leave out your parents' house, you need to step away from yourself. You need to deconstruct yourself and find out why it is you do every single thing that you do and how you got there. Is that really who you are? Is that really who you want to be? Because we walk around with a lot of that stuff and trying to still get satisfied from those negative feelings that we're not even quite sure what they are. And then we pass them around, and then we end up in more bad relationships. Friends, I'm not just saying romantic relationships. Then you just end up in jobs you don't want. You just keep ending up a bunch of places in life that you don't even know how you got there because you're moving on something that was put in you a long time ago that has nothing to do with your drive. Like people trying to force me to get a 9 to 5. I ain't never been able to work a job. Like, it's just not in me. Do I have a good, strong work ethic? Absolutely. There's no way to be self-employed all this time if you did not have a good work ethic. So yes, I have a great work ethic, but is a 9 to 5 for me? Nope. I meet a lot of people that say, "Oh my gosh, you're so courageous, because I live off of my art. And a lot of people will say that about artists. "Oh my gosh, you're so brave, you're so courageous." And it took me a long time to understand what that means. And so for some people, this ain't their life. It's too scary for them. It takes too much courage. It takes too much uncertainties. And so they can't do it. So we all have our thing, but if we're not supported, and my mom did support me very well in being the person who I wanted to be. Not the person she wanted me to be, other than she wouldn't let me speak bad English. So I could never use slang in the house. I definitely couldn't use slang while talking to her. I had to pop all my P's and all my T's. Like there was no, my G better in the end of the sentence if that's where, or the end of the word if that's where it was. So, and because she didn't like the way she sounds. She thought she was too country. And so, yeah, she directed me to speak better English than she did. That's what you're supposed to do. Did I catch hell for talking like a white girl, talking like a white person? Yes, but I got words for you. I know how to use my words, so you come talk about me if you want to. And I'm very good at using my words, and not a cuss one, but you'll feel like you got cussed out. And I won't use one curse word. Thank you, Mama. But those are the type of social things that you learn as a kid and the way your parents should direct you. But, it just could be anything that you learn. Like, I always like this example about cracking the eggs. Why do I crack the eggs, put them back in the carton, and put them in the refrigerator? I've been doing it all my life, and one day I questioned it. I was like, why do I do this? And I asked my mom. I watched my mama do it, and I watched my grandma do it, and my great-grandma, all the ladies do it. And long story short, the reason that used to happen is because back in the day, the garbage didn't come that much. Or they were down south, and it was hot. So you put the eggs back in the refrigerator until you got ready to take the garbage out, or the garbage got ready to get picked up, so your garbage wasn't stinking. We don't have that problem no more. I got access to the garbage all day, every day outside my door. If my garbage in the house starts stinking, to take it outside to the real garbage. So that streets and sanitation, which comes tomorrow, comes once a week. Will come in and get my garbage. Or I crush it up and put it in my compost, whatever. There's no reason for me to do it. But because that's what I saw growing up, and that path was determined and directed for me, I continue to do it as well without any question. And I still do it. I just wait till the whole thing is empty now, and then I throw the whole carton out. But whatever, it's just convenient too. It's just like right there, crack, pow, crack, pow. Anyway, there's tons of other examples like that. The other one I love too is my Nana, and this was a long time ago because I was 12 years old. Oh, what time is it when I'm running my mouth? Whoop, time to go. I'm going to tell this story and wrap it up. catch y'all tomorrow. We'll talk about how my good childhood socialization turned sour as an adult. But she used to turn her cups upside down in the cabinet, right? All the cups upside down in the cabinet. And I was like, Nana, why y'all your cups upside down? And she used to yell at me because when I washed the dishes and I get on my little stool and put them up there, I was so happy she let me wash the dishes. And because she was always scared I would break them, so I was happy when she finally let me wash the dishes. And she was just like, well, you put the cups out upside down, baby, because you don't want the dust to settle in the cups, and it keeps you from having to rinse out the cup all over again. I was just like, oh. And I've always remembered that. 12 years old, even by the time I finally got a house, I didn't go home turning my mama cups up inside down or anything, but for some reason, when I finally got my own crib, that was the first thing I did. I was gonna put my cups in the cabinet upside down. And because I remember my Nana's voice saying about the dust settling in the cup. Now, again, it was my Nana, my great grandma, so maybe her cabinets were very dusty, and that was a big problem for her back then. I'm sure it wasn't that big of a problem for me, but it still made sense. Dust does settle on things. You slam a cabinet, dust, so. Social. So I guess the key point of today is, if you really, really, really want to know yourself, and this is the root of any therapy. This is the root of CBT therapy. This is the root of my life coaching services. If you want some transformational, empowering life coaching, this is where it all starts, with deconstructing yourself. Every single thing. So that you can build yourself back the way you want to. Take the pieces you liked from that and be like, oh, that was actually okay. I was good with that. I'm going to take that, but I'm going to leave that now that I know where it came from, because it ain't been helpful. All right? Deconstruct yourself so you can see what's laying in them layers that make up you. Take them out and build them back up. And I can help you do that, because it is a process. Some people call it light work. That's the cute stuff. The shadow work is where you got to start. You got to go in them dark spaces that's scary, that may hurt, that has a lot of blame that you have to own. People don't want to do that. But if you do that, y'all, you'll be so healed and able to unleash your own guru and better pass on healing and stop passing on trauma out here, so we can build these communities that we want to live in. You can't do that unless you understand how you contribute into it on that little level that you think don't count, which is being a damn person. Right? Being the person in the community. So we got social emotional development for kids, and we need it as adults, for sure. Okay. Oh, I gotta go start this bus. I need money for some gas, y'all. Can't start the bus without gas, and I can't leave the bus this low on gas sitting in the cold either. So it's all types of wrongness and why I need some gas. So Cash App, Ia thanks you, or anything else, 312-937-7193. I got a $50 donation. That's two different people, but $50 in my gas tank, y'all, that is a tenth of a tank of gas. It don't even make sense to start the gas up. I need at least $100 to even go put gas in the truck, in the bus. So please, thank you, so we can get this season started. Again, yeah, people like, oh, but she got a grant. Grants do not cover this. Grants cover me running programs, which don't start till April. So Ia ain't getting paid for that grant until April. And if you ain't getting those services, then guess what? Ia ain't getting paid again. So donate. If you don't want services, that's fine. And you support me. You know what I'm saying? You believe in what Thug Hippie do. You believe in what Ia the artist do, so I can go be Thug Hippie. And if you don't know who Ia the artist is, go on over to Ia the artist. I am a massage therapist. I'm a yogi, and I am a transformational life coach and a consultant of all of the things health and wellness. And I have a lot of stuff going on that makes me money. So go get some services, make me some money, and I go buy my own gas. Or just donate. And then come start the bus for me so I don't have to leave out my house. Okay. I'm gonna finish my tea and I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Think about some things about yourself until then that you can deconstruct. Why do you do what you do? Simplest question ever. Why do you do what you do? Really pick that apart. Pick anything about yourself. Why you brush your teeth like that? Why you put your shoes on like that? You know what I'm saying? Why do you respond to stress like that? Those are things that are learned, either nature, nurture, some or both. Okay. Why do you procrastinate like that? Because it's 5 degrees outside. And I love my house. I love my actual home. Okay. Bye for real.